next we have Grube who's going to talk about a topic near and dear to many of our hearts, federal student loan debt.
Okay, hey everybody, I'm Grube. I'm supposed to start it. Yeah. Okay, so I'm here to talk to you about federal student loan debt. I'm a lawyer. I actually live in Oberlin now, and I went to law school in Boston. Dave Casserly's here. I have a couple more seconds. Okay, you're probably all familiar with the old system of student debt, where the federal government would back loans provided by private banks. And that was how it was for us when we were all in school. That's how it was until 2010. And then in 2010, both houses of Congress passed the Affordable Care Act. But they passed different bills. And as part of that, part of the reconciliation process, they added this rider, which gave us federal student loan reform, right? And so now all of our student loans in the United States come out of the Treasury, and Congress is your creditor. So at the time, the idea was to help people to keep their payments low and to regulate the payments. And Obama, at this point, was not far off. The deal is currently that you get forgiveness after 25 years. You only have to pay 15% of the money you earn over a certain amount of the poverty line. And there's also this public service forgiveness. And it looked great to all the Oberlin kids. It looked really good to us because we are more likely to need help going to school. We like public service-y stuff, right? So we jumped for it. And debt is shooting up right now. This is like, yeah. So law school, MBA, and grad school, it's so expensive now. So, and we've always been idealistic at Oberlin. Before, like the banks were before 2010, the politicians involved were selling us a really heavy burden. Okay, these loans are like 200 grand for some people. It's a lot of money. But what the interesting intersection here between this policy and the politics of it are that Congress isn't really listening to the United States anymore. This is from this Princeton study that just came out. There's like maybe a 0.05%, or sorry, a 5% effect on policy by people, what real people think. But the margin of error is 8%, so there might be no effect. Congress is not listening to us, and they're currently our creditor. You should be freaking out because the people in Washington didn't need loans. They don't care about us. And what's even more problematic is that they can change the terms of your loans at any time. You have no contractual rights. Basically, there are two problems. You have limited contractual rights. And the second problem is that suing the federal government is one of the hardest things to do. They have all sorts of sovereign immunity, and there are reasons you can't argue with them. They'll kick you out of court. So if they change the terms of your loans, you're just going to pay them like that. Okay, that should be scary to everybody. They can call them back tomorrow. But it's also already been regulated. Forgiveness of debt has been regulated, right? They're going to forgive these loans, but it's going to be taxable. In 25 years, the people who have their loans forgiven, they're not entitled to just get that forgiven. They're going to pay taxes. It's going to be a higher tax bracket. In that year, a lot of people will go bankrupt. They will, and the federal government's going to bankrupt them. I was going to do a tax chart. Basically what will happen is there's going to be a giant tax balloon payment. If you have $100,000 in principal left on your loan after 25 years, you have $100,000 of extra income in that year, right? And you're going to pay it. But Congress could change the terms of this. All right, I totally lost track of what my talk was going to be. So they can change your loan terms. What does that mean? They can call it back today, but they can also forgive them completely. We could wipe it away entirely. It's non-dischargeable debt, so you can't go bankrupt before they bankrupt you after 25 years. You can't just get out of this. You can't. It's impossible to do that. So there is an upside. Because they have this formal power to change the terms, they're limited by the vote. We could vote new people in. We could vote people in this room into office. There are future Congress people here. Freedom. That could be the great triumph of our age. Most of the rest of the world does this. Education is paid for wholesale in a lot of Europe, in Northern Europe. We should just be doing that. Yeah. What was I thinking? I totally was drunk when I did this. And I think what's left. now. That's the real problem. So